Okay, today's video is very controversial. So if you don't like controversy, just keep watching, but plug your ears because I need the views. But before you do, please remember to subscribe. Gotta take Grandma's car to take Penny to karate. Say hi to everybody. It's Monday. I don't usually film on Mondays, but today is an exception. It's been a bit of a busy week, right?
Yeah. He rickrolled me. Help me.
I rickrolled you?
Yes, you did.
What does that mean? Tell the audience what that means for the old people watching. Rickrolled means that I sang the song Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
Good thing it's copyrighted.
Okay, I'll stop. Okay, let's go to karate.
Yeah. It's time for him to get my wooter. Bye-bye. Have
Bye.
fun getting wooter.
Have a good class, I love you. Yeah, I'll go to the store and get Penny some water and bring it to her while she's in class so that she has some water for a break. Okay, she's got her water. That's good. So the reason why I'm waiting until today, Monday, to do a vlog is because my week was so crazy busy that I didn't find time over my actual days off. I usually get Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays off for my day job. And I didn't take any time to actually film anything. And so here I am filming on a Monday. And today's topic is somewhat controversial, as you saw in previously. What basically I'm talking about is aliens, UFOs to be specific. Over the last week, last Wednesday, the US held a meeting with their Congress talking about UFOs and their existence. And I personally, I have my beliefs. I'm not going to discuss what I believe versus what maybe you believe and divide those two opinions. What I want to talk about is the ability to talk about such a thing. Do you believe in aliens? Do you believe in their existence? Do you believe in the UFOs? What are they? These questions are questions that, even though we've been talking about them for like 100 years, these are just now beginning to surface. And we're taking the time now to talk about it here on my video. What do you think? Do you think that these are real? Do you think that this is something that we should be worried about? Personally, I don't think we should be worried about it, because if they were real, if they were hostile, if they were really, beings from another planet, they would have done their damage already. I think we're in a position where that is not something we need to worry about. Now, do I know what I'm talking about? Absolutely not. I think that there's obviously the potential for them to be dangerous and the potential for them to be harmful to humanity. So if they are real, if there is a such thing as aliens who are able to travel through space, travel from a distant planet somewhere else and come to our planet and actually, do some damage to us, that's always a possibility. I think what I'm trying to say is ultimately we should be open to the fact that it is a possibility. I think that's the thing. We should always be open to possibilities. We should never be so close-minded that the possibility of aliens is not true, because we don't know that for a fact. We don't know their existence to be fact either. But that's the point. We should be open to the fact that it's possible. I think as human beings, we should always be open to the possibility of the existence of things we don't have an understanding for. Let's be honest, we don't have an understanding for a lot of things. I was having a discussion with my stepdaughter this morning about the fact that we don't really understand what happens when we die. We don't know. We don't really know. There's people that say they've experienced things, near-death experiences, things like that. But for all we know, that's not death. For all we know, that's completely different. So we should be open to the fact that anything is possible. And I, for one, am intrigued by it. I'm intrigued by the possibility that there are aliens, that there are beings that visit this planet. I personally have never seen a UFO in my life. I'm sure there's lots of people out there who have, and hopefully they feel like they're able to communicate that experience, because that's the part that's the most intriguing. These hearings that they had in the States last week are sort of a window for us to be able to freely speak about these things, because what I'm hearing is that a lot of the people in the government and in the military who are experiencing these things are not saying anything about them because they're afraid of what might happen to them. So the benefit of these hearings, or this hearing in general, is it's creating an avenue or it's attempting to create an avenue for people to be able to speak freely without fear of losing their jobs or being ridiculed, anything like that. I think we as human beings need to be more open to any possibility, whether it's the existence of aliens, the existence of ghosts, the existence of Bigfoot, like anything that you would sit back and go, that's ridiculous. Nothing's ridiculous. You just never know. You just never know. My point of this whole thing is, let's be open. Let's be open human beings. Let's be open with each other. Let's talk about things like anything. If you have a topic, if you have anything you want to share down below, please do so. I promise there will be no judgment from me, and any judgment from anybody else will be taken away by me, because judgment is not conversation. Conversation is questions and answers. Finally back at the car. I'm gonna take a little break here after all that walking. I'm sweaty, I'm a little out of breath, but it's good for you. I just think that it's important to be able to be open to people and their opinions. And being a good human really means listening to each other and not judging each other based on something you don't agree with. And I mean, that does go both ways. There are people out there who have very strong opinions about literally anything, and I don't agree with them, but that doesn't make me hate them, doesn't make me change my opinion on who they are as people. So you should do the same. I think that's important. Americans may not know this, but we do get American television channels here in Canada, and we even get news stations here in Canada as well from America. So one of the things that I noticed last Wednesday during this hearing was that it was not being covered by any major news network that we get in Canada. For example, CNN or Fox News, or actually we don't get Fox News. We used to, but we don't anymore. CNN, MSNBC, even any of the major Canadian networks weren't covering anything about this hearing. I found it kind of interesting because, I was looking all over Twitter, and that's where you're getting all that information. But the only real network that was covering it from my point of view was News Nation in the States, and I don't get that channel. So it wasn't until today, which was almost a week later, that I got to see News Nation's coverage of the hearing. I did see some stuff on Twitter, like clips of the hearing, and got to see some of the questions that were asked and some of the answers that were given, which were pretty mind-blowing when you think about stuff that you learn growing up. There's a lot of speculation about things, right? Like, I grew up thinking that the government was keeping everything a secret, and it appears to be the case. When you question that, you're like, oh, that's just conspiracy stuff. But when it sounds like that is what's happening, the government knows stuff that they aren't telling you, that's kind of scary. And it's not just happening in the US. I mean, it's happening in Canada too. We have classified stuff that we're not being told. that you know, we learn about, and we're like, well, why didn't the government tell us that? And a lot of times it comes down to they think they're keeping the public safety in mind. They don't want people to go crazy, you know. So there's a good chance that some people will go crazy over this stuff. Like, there probably will be people, you know, waiting in crash sites and things like that where UFOs have crashed, and, you know, waiting for more to arrive and things like that. And people are constantly looking in the sky for possible UFOs. Once again, I have never seen one in my life, but I would like to. I think it'd be kind of neat. I know I would be a little scared. I think, you know, you're always scared of the unknown, but it's intriguing. I consider myself somewhat of a neutral opinion when it comes to anything. I'm a firm believer in certain things, and this is one of those things where it's like, I can't really say I believe that they don't exist, and I can't really say that I believe they do. But once again, I think you should comment below and let me know. Let me know where you're at. Do you feel this is something that does exist? Do you feel this is something that could exist? And do you believe they're trying to hurt us? Do you think they're trying to control us? Do you think they're trying to keep us safe? You know, I'm of the mindset where I wish, if it were true, I wish that they would be there to try to keep us safe, keep us alive. Maybe it's in their best interest to have us here. Because, you know, it's been almost 100 years since that Roswell crash, and we're still here. So, you know, I don't know what to say. All I can say is, I hope you comment. I hope you appreciate the topic, because it is somewhat of a recent thing, and not a lot of people are talking about it. And let me know what you think. Comment down below. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and like and share the video. And next week, I promise, we'll have a lot more fun activity planned, and it'll be uploaded in its normal time. Like, this one will be uploaded in its normal time, but my editing will be somewhat rushed. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.
Never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie.
You Rick rolls me.